Are you annoyed at those pesky enemies always hitting you? Do you want to show them who's in charge? Then let me introduce you to the Odo Crowd Control Tank. The Odo Crowd Control Tank is a tank build that aims to keep your enemies stunned or knocked down. This is useful as a stunned or knocked down enemy does not deal damage to you or to your team. This results in a tanking build that puts you in control. So, what makes the Odo Crowd Control Tank? We start with Odo. Odo's first unique perk, Odo's Punishment, causes us to deal 20% more damage to stunned or knocked down foes and applies to both weapons. As this build comes packed with crowd control skills, this 20% bonus damage can often be applicable. Odo's second unique perk, Odo's Defense, heals for 5% base health on block. This provides a little extra survivability. Odo comes with the perks Life Stealing and Refreshing Move. For the final perk, we have added a gem slot. A gem slot is needed to allow us to slot a carnelian gem to activate our taunts. To go alongside our flail, we will be using a tower shield. For the perks, we are using Shield Defense, Sturdy Energy, Sturdy, and an Elemental Shield Ward perk that matches the element of the mutation. For our second weapon, we are using a Warhammer. For the perks, we are using Keen, Refreshing Move, and Sundering Clear Out. Sundering Clear Out is a key perk that inflicts a massive 25% rend when using Clear Out. For our armor, we are in a heavy equip load. For our chest, we are using the Artifact Heavy Chest Piece, Void Dark Plate. Void Dark Plate's unique perk, Dark Reinforce, increases our armor by 20%. It comes with Enchanted Ward and Physical Aversion. For the final perk, we have added health. As for our remaining armor, for our helm, gloves, and legs, we are using health, Enchanted Ward, and Refreshing. For our boots, we are using health, Refreshing, and Crowded Bludgeon. This gives us 5 health, 4 Enchanted Ward, and 4 Refreshing. For our amulet, we are using health and an element protection perk that matches the element of the mutation we are doing. For the ring, we are using Hearty, strike damage, and leeching. This boosts the damage in both of our weapons. For the earring, we are using Despised, Healing Heart, and Regenerating. For the attributes, we are using Strength and Con, evenly split at 300 each. This grants us the key attribute threshold bonus of crit on attack from 300 Con, whilst providing good damage from 300 Strength. For our skills, on the flail, we are heavily invested in the Bastion tree, using Barrage, Trip, and Warding Bludgeon. Barrage provides Taunt, Mobility, Stagger, and Fortify. Trip provides Knockdown, Rend, Fortify, and Damage. Bludgeon provides Taunt, Fortify, Empower, and Damage Absorption. For our skills on the Warhammer, we are using Wrecking Ball, Shockwave, and Clear Out. Wrecking Ball provides Knockdown and Fortify. Shockwave provides Taunt, Stun, and Weaken. Clear Out provides Knockdown, Fortify, and Rend. With the use of these skills, 5 out of the 6 skills cause some form of crowd control on the enemy. Use of 4 Refreshing on our armor and Refreshing Move on both weapons helps to lower the cooldowns to allow more crowd control fun. Let's now take a look at some of the pros and the cons of the build. Starting off with the pros, crowd control. You probably could have guessed, but the main pro of the build is its amazing crowd control. This helps to control enemies and prevent their damage output. High survivability. With the use of Void Darkblade, 300 con, and the many fortified buffs from both weapons, this build has very high survivability. Team damage mitigation. This build provides high team damage mitigation, with many of the skills providing fortify to allies and crowd control skills preventing enemy damage. Now let's take a look at some of the cons of the build. Damage. Generally speaking, crowd control abilities have less damage. Given that we are using 5, other tank builds would provide a higher damage output. No team damage buff. Commonly, a tank build would use a sword with the passive leadership, or a flail with the passive leader of the pack to give a team damage buff. Neither are used in this build. That's it for the video. If you have any questions about the build, drop a comment below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.